It is 5 AM on a Thursday morning. And I'm heading back to France. I always keep mine in my pocket area. So those of you on the vlog from a while back remember Dan?
Hello, morning everyone.
Dan's coming with us to France.
It's pretty chilly today.
It's about 5:15 now, so we better hit the road. We've got to get to Folkestone by 7. So it should take about an hour and 40 minutes, something like that. Made it, got here for 7 AM and we're actually even able to get on an earlier train, which is really good going. So I haven't been on this actually for nearly 20 years, I don't think. We came on a family trip to France 20 years ago. 1998 was now 20 years ago. That's scary. Oh wow, you got some pain.
Listen carefully to the following safety information. Please ensure that your handbrake is on and that your vehicle is in first gear or park.
So my idea is to fly the drone. Here's the wood here. So kind of, I want to get like my thumbnail shot or my opening shot from France with the drone, so it's got, kind of got half the wood.
That's interesting, isn't it? So a lot of these trenches aren't that old, really.
No. Well, that's why they went over to the Hindenburg line. Dan, you're not in shot, mate. There you go.
Morning.
So French, le petit déjeuner, as my mum used to say every morning in France.
Is it ever weird filming yourself so regularly? I mean,
You just get used to it.
yeah.
You have to be a narcissist to be on YouTube, to be honest.
What about the...
Hi, welcome to France. Welcome to just outside Jeancourt, or Jeancourt, however you want to pronounce it. At this exact moment, on the 22nd of March 1918, 100 years ago, for nearly 5 or 6 hours on this day 100 years ago. So I apologise for the road worker look. It is that cold, and actually, to be fair, the wind has dropped off recently, so we've just got the drone out and finishing off our shots here at Jeancourt. Going to head up to Coisil, which is where I was last year for my video on another Ernest topping, but we've just finally got everything we needed here done. I want to try and head up to where the battle was, where I was filming earlier this morning, and just see if it's a little bit more conducive to filming there. It may not be, in which case we'll just head back up towards Arras and Coisil. Remarkable place. I really wish I could spend longer here than just a few hours, so hopefully we will. Dan's shooting some of his vlog over there, and we're going to head off away from here soon. So if you've seen the live videos leading up to this, then you'll know where I am, but if you haven't, we're now at Quesil Railway Cemetery, which is where I filmed this one here last year, the story of Ernest Topping, and this is where Ernest is buried, and it was unknown for nearly 100 years until I worked out with the historian Jeremy Banning. If you've never done and been out to the battlefields, I've never really had an interest in it before. Since coming out, since touring them, since doing the research, and I think I mentioned this in the piece I'm doing about Ernest, and I was talking to Dan about it, because you know, 100 years ago, I am of that generation. You know, my great-grandfather, I found out this was exactly 100 years older than me, almost to a few months. I feel a connection to that generation, being all these young men 100 years ago were the same age as me, that I don't feel towards maybe those of my grandfather's generation who fought in the Second World War. Yeah. So this was the culvert I was telling you about in the Topping video. We found it, and basically in 1917 they used that to come through here, and 1918 on the way back round they scooted through here while wounded men were next to them to get back through the other side of the embankment. And there's one private tells the story of scooting through here, seeing wounded soldiers next to him, and then having to be ordered by an officer to the top of the embankment to find out what was going on, and making himself a prime target, and he got shot in the arm and then invalided back out and back home, and that was the end of his war. But that was the last action he remembers 100 years ago yesterday at this very, very spot, and that's quite remarkable to remember.
Do you need it?
No.
I don't know if either my great-grandmother or my great-grandmother's time, this is all I do there. And then the spoons. Oh, is that the spoons? I can do that, I think,
So we're coming towards the end of the day, and it's actually stopped raining, and the sun is even breaking through. We shouldn't really complain too much of the conditions, given the conditions these soldiers went through. But Dan has a little line here. Give me those. You can talk to camera for me.
Thank you
Guest
so
on the vlog. Talk
much
to them about the cemetery.
Thank you. It's a great honour to be here working with Dan the man. I'm Dan, another man. So I just want to talk a bit about the cemetery, really, and the fact that Lutyens, who's the architect who designed these cemeteries, had a few different concepts in mind, and I just want to talk through some of those now. One of them I want to highlight in particular is the Stone of Remembrance, which is this one here. Now the idea of the Stone of Remembrance is it's not an altar as you might think, it's something which is solid, it's made out of rock, it's going to be here for a long time to come, so it's a permanent reminder for those men who gave their lives during the Great War. The idea was that this is a little piece of England we're in France right now, but it could be in Belgium, in Flanders, it could be a different part around the whole world. It doesn't matter. It's like you're back in England in a country garden, and that's why some of the graves have plants, although it's a little bit on the cold side, you can't really see that too well. Some of the arches of the columns here are just quite stunning and breathtaking, and on the inside walls we have many of the names of those people who never came home and actually never got given a grave either. So of course many men who died here, maybe that would be through shell fire, or perhaps they were killed and their bodies were not found, or maybe their body was found but it couldn't be identified, and so for that reason they actually have their names put onto these walls as a permanent reminder again about who these men were, and that they all should have a place where their name should be, even if they don't actually have a grave. I'm going to take you now to one of the most, I suppose, familiar sights you'll see with these cemeteries, and that is the cross which you'll see in all cemeteries with 40 or more graves. So that means the vast majority of them have them. I think there's about 900 cemeteries for the First World War, and this one at Arras is one of the largest ones, but it has a cross just like virtually all of them, although it's quite a large one. And there you can see the sword put onto the front of it. So this is really kind of what you'd expect to see in most of these cemeteries, and I'll just finish now by showing you all the thousands of men who have now buried in this one. Yeah.
When I came with Jonathan last year in France, we had cheeseburger and chips. I'm with Dan now in France, and we're having
steak. Can I just say this though, because we're not in a French restaurant. I had a croque monsieur this morning for breakfast, and that has been it all day long, apart from a
couple of sausages. Looking forward to eating this, warming up a bit, and then back to Calais, on to the train and home. Just transferring all the footage from the drone to start with, and then everything else. We're on the Eurotunnel, we're on the way home. I think it's a good enough time to say thank you very much for watching today's vlog. Make sure you check out yesterday, well, the last vlog I did anyway, this way. And this is what I was up to this time last year. The full vlog, the full story of Ernest Lonsborough will be out next week sometime. Thanks for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you will hit a subscribe and a like. I'll see you soon. I'm really tired. Bye bye.